Yes, the magical moment every parent dreads. Your teenager wants a car. 2 words scarier than student loans, driver's license. But hey, you don't need to sell a kidney just to get them on the road. We've dug through crash tests, safety ratings, and every boring but important detail so you don't have to. The result, list of 12 cars under $10,000, give or take a little, that are actually safe, reliable, and won't explode if your teen forgets oil changes for 6 months. These aren't clunkers from 1999 with convertible written in duct tape. We're talking proven models with airbags, stability control, and crash test ratings that won't make you cry yourself to sleep. Cheap, safe, fun, well, funnish. Because your teen's definition of fun is 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, and yours is them making it home alive. You can get a small car that behaves like a grown-up. Meet the Skoda Fabia. Built on the MQB A0 platform, it gains passenger and luggage space while keeping weight steady thanks to high-strength steel. Want screens and always online features? Up to a 9.2-inch infotainment display with an embedded SIM and Skoda Connect keeps you linked. Safety is serious here. Up to 9 airbags, travel assist 2, traffic sign recognition, front assist with predictive pedestrian and cyclist protection, automatic emergency braking, and eCall Plus. Practicality shines with a class-leading 380-liter boot, 1,190 liters with seats folded, and a turning circle under 11 meters. Engines range from an 80 horsepower 1 to 110 horsepower turbo, 0 to 62 miles per hour in about 9.9 seconds, and a 150 horsepower 1.5. Options include Monte Carlo trim, park and go, winter package, and an adjustable boot floor. 3-year over 60,000-mile warranty included. Not flashy, but sensible. Who does not want that? Maybe the Chevrolet Bolt Electric can do. It bursted onto the scene in 2016 like a nerd who suddenly invented teleportation. Affordable, practical, and with an unheard of 238 miles of range for under $40,000. Then reality checked and the Hyundai, Kia, and Tesla showed up to the party with sleeker faces and cooler dance moves. By 2020, Chevrolet tried spicing things up with a bigger 66 kilowatt-hour battery, stretching range to 259 miles, just enough to beat the Hyundai Kona Electric by a single mile. Impressive? Yes. Sexy? Not really. The Bolt's cabin is airy with decent cargo space and crisp screens, but the plastics feel like they were borrowed from a budget motel. Yet its 200 horsepower motor and instant torque deliver a 0 to 60 run in 6.7 seconds, quick enough to surprise your uncle's Corolla. The downside? At over $43,000 fully loaded, you are basically buying a practical, dorky-looking hatchback that insists you should love logic over lust. Oki is buying a Toyota GR86, basically confessing you wanted a Subaru but could not handle the family drama. Maybe, but who cares when you get a 228 horsepower flat 4 rear-wheel drive and a manual gearbox that actually begs you to misbehave. It is small, yes, with back seats sized for garden gnomes or emotional baggage, but up front the cabin feels built for spirited driving. The Hakon Edition cranks the exclusivity up to 860 units with Sachs dampers, Brembo brakes, and gorgeous 18-inch wheels. Because if you're going to go broke, at least do it looking good. 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, adaptive LED headlights, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a warranty that lasts longer than most teenage relationships. It is a bargain thrill machine in a world obsessed with crossovers. But wait. Suzuki can suit you, but don't be carried away by the name. I'm talking of the Suzuki Ignis. The Ricky Hat of city cars. Cute, scrappy, and surprisingly nimble. Its single 1.2-liter mild hybrid 4-cylinder produces 82 horsepower and shifts an 895-kilogram curb weight. 0 to 62 miles per hour arrives in the mid-12s and fuel economy ranges from about 52.4 to 58 miles per gallon. Choose the 5-speed manual for serenity or the continuously variable transmission for convenience. Front-wheel drive is standard and 4-wheel drive is optional. Space punches above its size. A 260-liter boot, adjustable rear seats on the SCT, and useful cubbies. Mid and top trims add a 7-inch screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sat-Nav, and extra safety aids. Euro New Car Assessment Program gave a 3-star result in basic form, but fully equipped models score much better. Warranty is 3 years or 60,000 miles. Want a city car with personality rather than blandness? Who would not? Think of the Peugeot 208 as the chocolate truffle of small hatchbacks. Stylish, a touch posh, and oddly irresistible. The refreshed 2024 face wears lion claw lights and an intricate grille. Inside, a 2-tier dash wraps the driver around a standard 10-inch touchscreen, and on higher trims, a brilliant 3D instrument display. Entry models use a 1.2-liter petrol with a manual gearbox. Allure and GT trims offer hybrid powertrains that are punchier and far kinder at the pump. Boot space sits at 311 liters and the rear is snug, perfect for groceries or friends who do not mind close conversation. City driving is playful thanks to the small steering wheel. Motorway miles are calm and composed. Safety comes standard with automatic emergency braking, road sign recognition, and lane departure warnings, though Euro new car assessment program scores sit at 4 stars. Want charm or carrying capacity? The 208 chooses charm, glamour with a practical wink. I'm pretty sure your teen's already bored because you haven't given them the car they want. And of course, that car just happens to be a Subaru WRX. Perfect, why not hand them a license, a turbo, and a shot of espresso and call it a day? This rally-bred sedan is basically the Impreza that went to the gym, discovered energy drinks, and never looked back. Every trim packs a 271 horsepower turbocharged flat-4 engine with all-wheel drive, because heaven forbid a WRX ever be boring. The 6-speed manual is the weapon of choice, though a continuously variable automatic transmission lurks for those who would rather not row their own gears. The new WRX TS, tuned by Subaru Technica International, throws in adaptive dampers, Brembo brakes the size of dinner plates, and Recaro seats that hug you tighter than student loans. Sure, fuel economy hovers in the low 20s, but who buys this thing for savings? At $38,920 to $48,875, the WRX is less about numbers and more about telling winter it does not scare you. Meet the Toyota Aygo X. It's like a tiny dog in big boots built to take on speed bumps. Want city style without the stress? With two-tone paint, chunky trim, bright LED lights, and a high driving position, you can see the madness around you while dodging it with ease. Inside sits a 9-inch touchscreen, 10.5-inch on upper trims, and an optional sliding cloth roof. Rear space is tight. Boot is 230 liters or 829 with seats folded. Weekly shop yes, house move no. Power comes from a 1-liter 3-cylinder with 72 horsepower. Choose the manual, light clutch, easy shifts, less drone than the continuously variable automatic. Expect about 56 miles per gallon. 0 to 62 takes 14.8 seconds and top speed is 98 miles per hour, fast enough to outrun a shopping trolley, not your regrets. Safety Sense adds adaptive cruise and lane keeping. Euro new car assessment program rates 4 stars. Reliability is Toyota solid, and servicing can extend warranty coverage to 10 years. Moving on, if you still want a car you can show off a little with, the Volkswagen Polo might be your pick. It's basically a designer sofa on wheels. Stylish, comfy, and guaranteed to get noticed. Sharp creases and intricate LED lights give it a grown-up face, while the cabin is roomy with soft plastics. A digital driver display and infotainment from 6.5 to 10 inches come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Engines are 1-liter 3-cylinder units with 80, 95, or 115 horsepower. The 95 horsepower unit is the best all-round pick. Choose a 5-speed manual or a 7-speed DSG. The Polo soaks up bumps, is stable on motorways, and has a 351-liter boot with a flat load bay. Want to be seen or to fling a car into a corner and explain it to your insurer? Pick wisely. If you've ever wanted to know what it feels like to drive a rolling lunchbox, the Smart Fortwo has you covered. It's basically half a car but somehow full price. With just 2 seats and a trunk that barely fits a backpack, it's not built for road trips with the squad. Nope, this thing is designed for city life, slipping into parking spaces that SUVs can only dream about, and zipping through traffic like an overcaffeinated go-kart. The 89 horsepower engine won't win drag races, unless it's against a lawnmower, but it does make merging interesting. Fuel economy is decent at around 34 miles per gallon in the city, but Smart wants premium gas like a fancy dinner on a $1 menu budget. At $15K for the base, it's quirky and kinda fun, but at $20K, you'd better really love parallel parking. So would you pay full price for half a car, you tell me? The Kia Soul is proof that sometimes being a little boxy is not a bad thing. It is like driving the rolling lunchbox we had just talked about right now, except this one comes with heated seats, a panoramic sunroof, and Apple CarPlay. Even fully loaded, a brand new Soul barely touches 27,000 United States dollars, which is shocking in a world where cup holders probably cost extra in German cars. Older models, especially from 2014 to 2019, can be had for under 10,000 United States dollars, making it one of the most affordable ways to haul your friends groceries or existential dread. The high seating position gives you a mini SUV feel, but it still sips gas like a compact. Yes, the engine whines if you push it and the ride can feel stiff, but at least it keeps you awake. Who needs a lullaby when your suspension is already shaking the regrets out of you? But we can agree that Mazda 3 is proof that a budget car doesn't have to feel like punishment. This little sedan or hatchback is just enough style to make you look like you've got your life together, even if you're still borrowing gas money. Sure, it's not as spacious as a Nissan Sentra, but who's hauling a moving crew at 17 anyway? The real win here is how it drives. Sporty, sharp, and just plain fun. Think of it as the car that turns boring grocery runs into mini road rallies. With around $10K, you're looking at a 2015 model from the sweet 2014 to 2018 generation. Safe, modern, and even offering things like lane departure warning and emergency braking. Translation: mom's happy because it's safe, you're happy because it's fun, and your friends are happy because, well, you finally stopped asking them for rides. Who knew cheap could feel this good? If range anxiety were a horror movie, the Renault Zoe would be the kindly neighbor who brings a charger and a casserole and quietly warns you about winter. The Zoe packs a 52 kilowatt-hour battery and a 135 horsepower motor, rated for up to 239 miles. Our motorway test returned about 229 miles. Want a quick top-up? A 30-minute charge at a 50 kilowatt station adds roughly 90 miles. A 22 kilowatt public charger fills it in about 3 hours, and a 7 kilowatt home wall box takes about 9 hours and 25 minutes. 0 to 60 miles per hour takes 9.5 seconds. Boot space is a useful 338 liters, expanding to 1,225 liters with seats folded. Tech is classy. A 9.3-inch infotainment screen and a 10-inch digital driver display come standard. The Retest Your New Car Assessment Program result was brutal. 0 stars in 2021, so confirm your chosen trim includes lane assist and emergency braking. Warranty is 5 years or 100,000 miles. The battery is covered for 8 years or 100,000 miles. Practical, peppy, and oddly reassuring until winter arrives. At the end of the day, whether you're squeezing into a smart Fortwo that looks like a rejected Lego set or flexing in a Mazda 3 that makes you feel faster than you really are, the point is simple. Broke doesn't mean boring. Sure, people might clown your ride at stoplights, but when they're drowning in car payments and you're filling up for pocket change, who's really winning? Cars come and go, but debt sticks around longer than your high school crush, so pick smart, laugh at the haters, and remember, the best car is the one that doesn't bankrupt you before prom. So yeah, those are some wise words, I guess. Confirm by smashing that like button and don't miss the next video. It is gonna be all about driving safe and keeping your car alive longer than your last situationship. Oh, and yes, we will be dropping a part 2 of that list, maybe even more, because bad driving habits are like bad exes, they just keep showing up.